What's up, everybody? Noah Caser back here for what we watched in June. I'm back with Luke Ponto. Last month, I'm going to tell you what happened. Ready? I did that video. It was the same time as a live stream would be, about an hour and a half to almost 2 hours. So I figured this was a lot easier. It was nice to do it in one bulk, and then another bulk, and then another bulk recording session. But then trying to export that garbage, oh, that was a pain in my you-know-what. This was a pain because it would go half, and then it would stop. Then it went to 30%. It got to 80%, and then it went back to 30%. So I basically fought with that thing for about a few hours to try and get the stupid thing to export. So we're just sticking with live streams, unless I get a screener. And then I will do a regular old video for it. So let's get into it. This is what we watched in June. As always, I'm going to let my host, my co-host, Luke Ponto, take it away. And if you guys don't know how this works, we're going to go from the 1st of the month until the 8th of the month, and then the 15th, 22nd, 29th, and then just end it off. So Luke is going to go first, and we're going to go into what he watched the first week in June.
Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, I was trying to make sure we... Okay, good. Just double checking.
Yep.
All right, so the first one that started it off was a watch-along on my live show, Horror Hounds, that is on my YouTube channel, of course, and also Mike's Film Fix, who is my co-host. We did a watch-along for the original Scary Movie, or should I say, Waza! Comedy classic. It is one of my favorite comedies of all time and one of my favorite parody movies. I think the second one is better, but I still think it's great. It's one of the best movies. Honestly, one of my favorite movies of all time. I cannot lie about it. And then watched Faces of Death. And no, before anyone comments and saying, oh, you watched the original? No. I have no plans on watching the original Faces of Death. This is the new one with Barbie Ferreira and Dacre Montgomery. And it's basically about a serial killer that posts videos on social media that is taking inspiration from the original Faces of Death. And Barbie Ferreira is a social media moderator that comes across these videos that Dacre Montgomery, who plays as the serial killer, is posting. And it was solid, got a little bit off the rails in the third act, unfortunately. And then Dreamcatcher, which is based on a Stephen King novel, honestly, one of the most underrated Stephen King movies and one of the most underrated movies of the 2000s. And then watch The Distinguished Gentleman, which is a movie that this guy watched before me because I wanted to get his thoughts before I watched it. And I watched it for a 52-week movie challenge. I think it was like 15% or lower on Rotten Tomatoes, and this movie had an 11%. Yeah. And it makes sense why, because it was not good. It wasn't funny really at all. The concept on paper sounds hilarious, like where Eddie Murphy plays as a con artist who is trying to get into the Congress, basically. But what hurts even more, it's the same director as My Cousin Vinny, Jonathan Lynn.
Yeah, it just shows you that everybody has one bad day at the office, unfortunately. But even the biggest people, a Tarantino, if he continues after his 8th film, he's going to have a bad day at the office. Look at a Scorsese, a Spielberg. Every single actor, director, and writer has one bad day, and I think they are supposed to have one because nobody is perfect. Nobody in Hollywood is going to be a perfect filmmaker and make like a best picture every single time and make all-time classics.
Yeah, but it's just that with the fact that it was from the director of one of my favorite comedies, which is My Cousin Vinny, my expectations were kind of high because, I mean, My Cousin Vinny is hilarious. Like, are you mocking me with that outfit?
Yes. No.
Mocking you? No, I'm not mocking you, Judge. Then explain that outfit. And then there's that whole back and forth just between Vinny and the judge was great. The whole movie is hilarious. So I don't know how The Distinguished Gentleman couldn't really live up to it, especially when you have Eddie Murphy in the lead. But oh well, can't win them all. But regardless, the next one I revisited a childhood favorite, and that is Small Soldiers. It is a movie that definitely requires some nostalgia for sure. It's basically like a PG-13 version of Toy Story in a way, but if the toys have gone rogue. Because you basically have the Commando Elite and their rogue toys. Like, best way I can describe it. And then I watched a film that I'm sure no one has ever heard of. I had heard of this film when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because some YouTuber I used to watch before his channel got taken down showed this in a VHS collection, and I was like, what the heck is this? It's a film called True Identity starring Lenny Henry. And it's basically about an actor who is a black guy that is on the run from the mob, and in order to try to get away from the mob, he dresses himself up as a white guy. That concept kind of sound familiar to y'all?
Exactly.
I mean, it kind of Jesus Christ. It's not anywhere near as funny as it should have been, just given the premise. Like, the premise alone should sell this as like a Comedy Genius classic. But it's kind of played a bit safe, despite being an R-rated comedy. But it's fun enough for what it is. I do think Lenny Henry was funny. So then I rewatched Constantine, which I think is another very, very underrated movie. Keanu Reeves, I think, is great as the character, and I'm glad we're getting a sequel. And then I went and saw Backrooms for a second time, because the first time, the third act left me going, So I went and saw it again, even better the second time. And then the next day I watched Over Your Dead Body, which, Noah, my guy, watch this one, dude. Like, I'm not expecting you to love this one as much as I did, but I think you will enjoy it.
I'm definitely going to watch it this month. I have it on my new releases watch list, but yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it this month.
Yeah, easily one of the funniest movies I've seen all year long. If anyone doesn't know what this movie is, it's basically Jason Segel and Samara Weaving, who are a married couple, kind of on the brink of ending their marriage. Mm-hmm. And they decide to go to this remote cabin just to maybe cool off and maybe see if they can work things out, only to find out that they're secretly plotting to murder each other. There you go. Simple pitch. And then Masters of the Universe, one of the biggest box office bombs of the year. And it's unfortunate because it was a lot of fun. I thought Nicholas Galitzine was great as He-Man. And then we got everyone's favorite movie of 2026, Scary Movie 6. What would Halloween be without Jamie Lee Curtis? What would Scream be without Neve Campbell? Oh, that would be Scream 6. Yeah, I laughed. I laughed a lot. I gave it 4 out of 5. I don't care. I don't care. These movies make me laugh. That's all I want. Just make me laugh. And then Urban Legend, which I think is a kind of an underrated movie in a way, but not really. It's good, but pretty obvious killer reveal. Mm-hmm. And then Sonic the Hedgehog, which is, honestly, that whole franchise is a comfort franchise. I love the Sonic games. I just love Sonic as a character. The sequels are better, but it still is a really fun first outing for the character. And then the next one is Minority Report, which I did a watch along for to build up for Disclosure Day. It's one of my favorite Spielberg movies and also one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies. So there you go.
And that'll end off the first week for Luke. And now we're going to go into the comments really, really quick. We got Sav. How you doing, my boy?
What's up, Sav?
Joining us late. It is midnight. It is midnight over there in the UK. Thank you for popping in here.
Dedication, dude.
Sav asked how we're doing. We're doing good, as is Steiner 11. And Sav also says, I remember True Identity. I haven't seen it in years.
I was sure a lot of people had not heard of it, but I bought it because it was on sale on Fandango at one point.
Hmm.
But I was just like, okay, I'll just give it a shot. And I was like, crazy concept, but not up to its fullest execution. So
let's go into my first week. My first week started off with Django Unchained. I was on the way home from my grandma's. My dad was driving. So I'm like, you want to know what? Let's just put on a long movie on the way home. And that was Django Unchained. One of my all-time favorite films. It's a very graphic, R-rated, hard R Tarantino film that goes really, really far. But I love it. This movie is 2 hours and 45 minutes about Django just trying to get his wife back with the help of Christoph Waltz, going to the luxurious estate of Leonardo DiCaprio, where we meet a bunch of different characters. This is a great Western, a very funny, brutal film, but massively underrated in my opinion. Mamma Mia, I wanted something to show my mom because I did not have to work that night. My father did. I did not. So I'm like, let's just put something on for her because, as you will see, my dog came home, so we watched a bunch of Christmas. Mamma Mia is one she'd never seen. I had seen it twice at this point. On the third rewatch, it's very, very good. It's sweet. It's charming. The music is great. And it just works as a whole. You can see when my dog came home with How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yep.
We watched that, and then I just left it on the rest of the night for him as I watched Hokum. Hokum is a horror movie that came out this year that everybody was buzzing about. Everybody is buzzing about this movie. Now,
I was one of them.
Do I think that this one is one of the best horror movies of the year? Yes, I do. Do I think it's the best? No, I do not. I think there's just a couple things in here that could have been tweaked and given a bit more attention to the details. But it's a very creepy film. And the last half hour really picks up. Once he figures out what's going on and he goes down there and we see that witch. That is insane. The first half hour really needs to pick it up a little bit because there's so much in there that they try to add different plot points. And yes, it works. It works. But I think you could have shaved off a good 10 minutes of this and it would have made it even better. But that's just a personal thing for me. Honey June. Speaking of a movie nobody's heard of, this is a screener that was sent to me. And this is a little indie film, 75 minutes long, all about this mother and daughter who go on this trip. And they get placed in this, in the honeymoon suite in this resort. And their resort guide starts to fall in love with the daughter. The mom is going through some troubles and she's being very motherly. I'm sure we know people in high school and even people to this day, when they're out with their mom, if they're not dressed particularly covered up, they will say it wherever they are. She does this multiple times. And in the plot line, one of the main issues is that she has a problem with how small her daughter's bikini is. And yes, she does have a problem with it. It's not that small. It fits her very, very well. They don't linger on it, though, which this could have been a movie that lingers on that. That could have been the issue. No, this is a mother-daughter dealing with the loss of their father and husband while trying to find happiness and love again for the daughter, and while keeping her mother at peace, but also keeping her a little bit happy and keep her mind off of what just happened. This is a very hard-hitting drama that I think everybody should see. I believe it's on digital right now. It's like $5.99, I think. It's a great little indie film, a hidden gem, but even more of a hidden gem, Carolina Caroline. This is all about Samara Weaving. God love her to death. She's one of the best actresses working today, highly underrated, and she has not made a bad film. And Kyle Chandler, who go on this bank robbing spree, while she was promised by him that they would go on an adventure to look for her mother. They kind of do that in a way, but not really. He's more money hungry. So he just wants to go and rob banks. And it's basically a classic story of, say it with me, Luke.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde. However, this one has a lot more sex, a lot more graphic stuff in it than a Bonnie and Clyde natural story. This, yes, as you can see by that tiny little poster, I'm not going to pull it up. By that tiny little poster, this is a very sexually explored movie. There's not a lot of nudity, but there's a lot of sex in this. And for a Samara Weaving movie, that's saying something, because sure, she's done a couple of films where she's been nude, i.e., one little indie that she made for Lionsgate called Last Moment of Clarity. I think she did another one too. I can't remember off the top of my head. But we know her from the Ready or Not films and the opening kill in Scream 6. Very underrated hidden gem. It's funny. It's great. I loved this movie watching it. My issue is you don't really cheer for Kyle as a character, because Kyle is the guy you're supposed to dislike, but he does it so well where even you're like, okay, eventually he's going to take her to see her mom, right? No, it doesn't go that way. It doesn't go that way at all. He just wants money, but yeah, he's falling in love with the girl, and he wasn't intending on falling in love with her. We've seen this movie time and time again. Oh, Jesus. Okay, here we go.
Oh, man.
Okay. Chum. The shark movie of 2026, all about Alice Eve, who goes on a 3-hour cruise. Sounds like Gilligan's Island. Nah? They go on a 3-hour tour right after she gets married to her beloved husband. And now it is with her friends and her new husband that they go in there. Their ship is about to explode. They have to jump in the water. However, there is a shark. That's only the first half hour. The next hour of this stupid thing, no swearing, so on this stupid thing, what do you think happens, Luke?
Nothing.
This damn fish, this fisherman, comes out of nowhere and helps them get on his boat. Okay, cool. Maybe he'll take them back to civilization. Now they have to try and make it past a bunch of sharks. No. He holds every single one of those efforts hostage and wants to put them in a shark cage to bait the shark, because that's the same shark that killed his wife.
What is this? Dangerous animals now?
And now they have to try and fight back against him, but also try and live, because he beats the crap out of these people. Then it becomes a Marvel movie, because the one guy, he's supposed to be eaten. He's attacked by the shark. He's nowhere to be seen for a good 20-25 minutes. That being her new husband, who they're about to get an annulment because they realize they may not want to get married. Oh, sure, spend millions of dollars, and then the morning after, because you have a disagreement, the morning of your first day of honeymoon, yeah, your friends are there. They're up your butts. Get them away from you. Get them away from you. Now, this movie is not only poorly written, poorly acted, and poorly done with visual effects. This is a boring film. Nothing happens. The editing is garbage. There's multiple scenes. Luke and I have seen multiple shark movies. I've never seen this. I've never seen this before. Mostly, it's a slow-mo shot when the shark comes by. Right, Luke? Or they're moving to move away from the shark. No. Alice Eve is moving. She's just walking maybe a good 2 feet across the boat. And then it's slow-mo. It's slow-mo as she walks. She's just going like this. That's it. And then it goes to full speed regular movie after that. It's a piece of garbage. I can take a crap, and it is a better thing to look at than this movie, because it is one of the worst movies of the entire year. This is the definition of what the movie is titled Chum.
The way you described the concept of them like having a fisherman take them hostage, I'm like, it literally sounds like Dangerous Animals.
Yep.
Like where like Jai Courtney like looks like a fisherman, but no, he's like his character is a serial killer that uses sharks.
Yep.
Sounds like that movie.
And then this was a trend that me and my family did. Well, me and my mom did every Wednesday, almost every Wednesday. There was a disaster movie month on Turner Classic Movies. Airport was first. I had never seen Airport. My mom had seen Airport. This thing moves so dang slow for the first hour.
It is
until we're
slow.
actually getting into it. Until we're actually getting into everything. And then once we get to them actually on the plane flying, and there's an issue where they have to try and land it, then we get somewhere. That's why it's not a perfect score, because that first hour moves at a snail's pace and they add too much in there, like a love story that goes nowhere. Too many characters are introduced that aren't that interesting. You're mainly into our leads and our few select people who have names on the plane. Sure, great. Good little movie. Too long at 2 hours and 16 minutes, and you will see that that is going to be another thing that I say about another one of these disaster movies that my mom and dad and my grandma loved. I had never seen it, but you'll see that later in the stream. Next up was The Limey. I was not a fan of this. This is a movie that did not work for me. It's a British gangster action film. It is one that I don't think I'm ever going to watch again. Greatly performance, beautifully shot. The story goes absolutely nowhere for me. It's not interesting. Yes, acting's good, but even acting can't save this movie for me. I will say it's mercifully short at like 90 minutes. Next up, I watched Scary Movie. This was a rewatch for me. I'm not a massive fan of this franchise, but there's multiple moments in here where watching it again, yeah, it's very funny, particularly with Anna Faris and Marlon Wayans. Everybody works. But that doesn't work as well as the second one does for me. The second one works because I am a massive, massive fan of one particular scene. Yes, why do I like it better? Well, because Scary Movie made me laugh, but not as much as the opening scene does in Scary Movie 2. With the parody.
Yep.
Father, this is not part of the ritual. Oh, okay. be
F
quiet.
this.
Throws a Tic Tac in her mouth. Scary Movie 2 has the best opening of any horror movie I have, a horror comedy I've ever seen. But the rest of the movie didn't work for me. 3 got even worse. 4, I was bored. 5, I had seen before, but I watched it because I'm like, well, maybe my taste had changed. No.
5 is just it's honestly hard to even call Scary Movie 5 even a movie. It is just gross out gags.
It's just a bunch of scenes. Now, I will say that they did use the movie Mama more than I remember them using it, because that's the main thing, is using Mama in Scary Movie 5. Fine, it's 2013. It was a new movie. Go for it. But I was not a fan of the Scary Movie franchise. I didn't make it out to C6 because of work. But once it comes to digital, I will gladly sit down and watch it because I'm hearing a lot of great, funny things about it. So keep on going here. I believe we only got a couple more. Yeah, we only got a couple more. So my dog was home again, and we just decided to make him sit down and be quiet. So he turned on Christmas. He had never seen A Christmas Carol from 1997. This is an animated musical version of it with Tim Curry as Ebenezer Scrooge. Luke, have you seen this version?
I don't recall if I have or not.
Okay. This is very cute. It's very cute. It's only like an hour and 10 minutes, and this flies by. And the songs are actually pretty catchy, but you can't really compare it to other Christmas Carol stories because of the classic ones that we have, the 38 version, the 54 version, the 2009 version.
I was about to say the 2009 one.
And the Muppets version and the multiple other ones, but we get multiple different versions. We just got one with Hallmark called Christmas Above the Clouds with two of their biggest stars, Tyler Hynes and Aaron Krakow, which is a Christmas Carol story which turns into a romance. And our lead is our Ebenezer Scrooge character with her learning and looking back. It's a good little movie. Then we just continued. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Childhood for me. I remember popping in multiple tapes, and this would come up. Even if it was a Halloween tape or an Easter tape, this was on there. If it was a Warner Brothers, it was on there. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, it's an all-time classic. Everybody loves it. My dog loves it. It makes him lay down and go to sleep, which in my terms and in his terms means he loves the movie.
Yep. It's a bona fide classic. I did want to call out you did skip over one. You skipped over the Greek Isle.
Yep, and I did that just to go through the scary movies. And the Greek Isle is a Hallmark movie that we actually got to talk to Nikki Deloche on our podcast, Heartful of Hallmark. Subscribe. This is a good little movie. It's a very good movie. This is all about this woman who has to get married, and they basically have to fake a marriage. That's all I'm going to go into. They have to fake a marriage, and it's a really solid movie. Nikki is great here, as is Apostle something. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it's Apostolos. Apostolos is his name. Apostolos. I'm not even going to say his long name, his last name, because that's insane. Good little movie. I enjoyed it, and we got quite a few more Hallmarks to talk about later on in the stream.
All right.
Next up for Luke, we will go through the 9th through the 15th.
All right, here we go. So the first one to kick it all off for the 9th was The Beach. It was a rewatch. Danny Boyle movie, starring Leo DiCaprio. Good little movie. Probably my least favorite I've seen of Danny Boyle's movies. I mean, I honestly don't think he's made a bad movie.
No.
Like, he's that good of a director that he has not made a bad movie. So it's good, just very, very slow. And it doesn't really build enough intrigue, like for certain ideas that they try to do, but it does for some ideas that it does build intrigue. It does a good job. And then rewatched Gran Turismo. Really, really good movie. Like, doesn't really get talked about anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And a really, really crazy true story at that. And then Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. That was another rewatch. Basically, if it's my one way to describe this is if basically Matt Johnson directed Back to the Future. Like, this is basically his version of Back to the Future. A lot of Back to the Future references also in this movie, and it is hilarious. Definitely one of the more creative comedies I've seen in a very, very long time. And then Hoppers, just a great Pixar movie, dude. And also freaking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
A lot funnier than I thought it would be. Evil Dead 2, classic. I mean, I feel like a lot of this month was just a lot of rewatches of movies I wanted to revisit, but you can't complain.
No.
But Evil Dead 2 is my favorite of the franchise, and it makes me even more excited for Evil Dead Burn. And then Fantastic Mr. Fox. Hey, Noah, are you cussing with me? You cussing with me? Yeah. Probably I think it's my second favorite Wes Anderson movie, only behind it's in my top 3 behind Grand Budapest and and Moonrise Kingdom.
Okay.
It's really close though. And then 2 days in a row, I went out to the theater and I saw Obsession twice. Because my theater finally played it the weekend of Disclosure Day, which I will talk about here in just a minute. Yeah, it's a movie that has stuck with me. I mean, I can't say enough good things about this film that I have not said already. I think it's a perfect movie. I mean, I literally have the One Wish Willow prop behind me. Also have a t-shirt and the movie's poster. So,
and I watched it yesterday morning, right before I went to work. And then we were literally on the phone talking about it.
It's a film that warrants discussion. Like,
yeah.
Because there's so many possible theories that you could come up with as long as you're not defending Bear.
Exactly.
Like, I just want to say that. Like, do not defend Bear.
And you will see my review at the very, very end because, yes, this is June. I'm going to add it in because we are talking about it here. I'm going to add my 2 cents into it at the very end of the stream as the last film that I talk about on this episode.
All right. But yeah, like I said, there's so much that you can discuss about this film, like with possible theories. But just like I said, don't defend Bear. The next one is 1941. This was one of the few Spielberg films I get to watch before Disclosure Day. I still have not finished his filmography. I only got 2 movies left now, which are Always and Amistad. And once I get those done, I will be complete with Steven Spielberg. 1941 was not good. It was a comedy that just wasn't funny. And I think Spielberg has even said that he can't really make comedy. Because the thing that it is, a comedy is supposed to do is make you laugh. I mean, Spielberg has movies that can make you laugh, but like for certain scenes, but he can't make a full-fledged comedy, is what he has come out and said. And 1941 is kind of the reason why. No diss to Spielberg. Just saying that. No diss for Spielberg, but that one did not work for me at all.
And also, we have to say all comedy is subjective. So if you find this funny, that's awesome. That's
good
awesome.
For you. Like, I like
this movie funny.
Like, we're happy for you. All right. And then speaking of which, I did see Disclosure Day, which I thought was great. But I have to admit, thinking about it, there are some things that are not quite sitting well with me. Like, because there are definitely some things that do not make sense. But also, it might be one of those films that'll either get better with a second viewing or might go down even more with a second viewing. Mm-hmm. I'm keeping it at a low 4.5 for right now because I genuinely do think it's a great movie. Like, it's beautifully made, like any Spielberg movie is. Like visually stunning. And Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Eve Hewson, Emily Blunt, Coleman Domingo, everyone was phenomenal in the movie. Just honestly, way too long at 2.5 hours. It honestly is way too long. A 2 hour and 10-minute movie, or maybe even just a 2 hour, 5-minute movie would have been perfect for this one. Drags a bit at 2 hours and 25. Mm-hmm. And then Toy Story.
That little indie film.
Oh, who's heard of Toy Story?
What's Toy Story, Luke?
Oh, I don't know. It is absolute cinema. That's
exactly
what it is.
It's the greatest. It might be the greatest Pixar movie ever made. It might be. Maybe. I mean, I don't think that there's a real debate that it's not in the top 5. I really don't think so.
It's probably my top 10, but that just goes to show, like, there were so many Pixar films that I grew up with that I honestly loved as much as Toy Story. Mm-hmm. But Toy Story is a film that you never will forget. Like, it is a film that lives on. It's a timeless classic, for one. And I got to say this before going to the next one. You are a toy! You have to quote that every time we talk
little
about
man.
Toy Story.
You are a sad, strange little man. Ready for a showdown. I can just hear the VHS trailer playing in my head every time I watched a Disney tape from 94 to like 96. That was on there, and it was just continuous. Who doesn't love Toy Story?
Yeah, who doesn't love Toy Story? And the last one before we go back over to Noah's, this one was just kind of a random one. I was just looking for something to watch, and I decided to pop on Halloween 2018, which is still my second favorite in the entire franchise. Like, it's the closest Halloween film to live up to the original. It still doesn't quite live up to the original, but out of all of the sequels, it is the closest. Because at least they don't diss on the Halloween legacy like Halloween Resurrection does. And also, you don't kill off Laurie Strode like that. Because that's the big mistake that Halloween Resurrection made. Killing off Laurie Strode within the first 10 minutes and then getting stuck with the most annoying MTV-style characters possible. They corrected all the mistakes. For the most part, I will say.
Then he had ends.
I will say they corrected I would say they corrected all the mistakes of the previous films for the most part. Just some of the humor doesn't work.
But it does go balls to the wall in this one, because I remember going to opening night for this one in particular, opening night. And I'm telling you what, I walked into that theater and my theater was jam-packed. Every single scare, every single time, especially that one. In the believe it's a gas station where you just see his jaw hanging from his face. That's when we're like, oh, this is insane. Let's go. And
they do not hold back with those kills.
Laurie came on screen. It was like Luke Skywalker popped on the screen, because everybody's like, okay, she's back. She has a gun. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We were a family in there, dude. Everybody was having the time of their lives. And then I even went back a second time because I loved it that much. It's a great movie. I love it. I can't wait to rewatch it this Halloween. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm glad I revisited it, dude, because honestly, I kind of forgot how awesome it was. Just, like I said, some of the humor was kind of like, really? You had to write it like that? Particular moment, I'm not going to say on stream, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm going to go to a comment here. A question to both of you. How do you organize your movies? I do it a little bit differently. So I put my Blu-rays all together. My 4Ks are all together in alphabetical order. My DVDs are spread out. My DVDs are in my watched section, and then I have a huge pile of unwatched stuff. All my Christmas stuff is together. Luke has seen my amassed hundreds of Christmas.
Like a whole Christmas collection, dude.
It's a whole Christmas collection that won't even fit on one shelf. Literally on one shelf. It is on 8 shelves? I think 8 shelves.
Could be even more than that.
And then the regular Hallmark movies are on one shelf. And then some Christmas behind that. It's massive collection. Luke, how do you organize your movies?
Well, all of my regular movies are organized from A through Z, for my Blu-rays. Like my DVDs and my VHSs, those are in my closet, and those are completely out of order. Like those are just, randomized. Just for the regular Blu-rays and 4Ks that I have over here, they're pretty much just organized A through Z, and then I have my Criterions separate in my bedroom, and they're all organized by spine number. So, because I have so many Criterions, it's like I'd rather just organize them by themselves, so that way I don't have to, just go searching through my shelf and be like, where's that Criterion? Oh wait, oh yeah, here it is.
And we are not going to be those people. No dissing towards anybody. But we've seen Criterion Collection videos where people have them all, close to all of them. There's no way that 1A, we could afford that. 2,
Right.
no, we would have the room for it. 3, we wouldn't have interest in all of those movies.
There's some specific films that I myself am going to say I probably will not own on Criterion because either I don't like the movie, like I'll just state an example, like The Piano Teacher. I watched that recently, which we'll talk about here, but
Yep.
I'll just go ahead and say I didn't like the movie. I don't plan on owning it. And B, I don't have any interest in watching it. Prime example, Happiness. No interest in watching it, so I'm not going to buy it. I don't want to waste my time.
Nope. So let's go into my next week of the month of June. This was a good month. This was a very good month of watches. So why did I rewatch Next Stop Christmas? Well, because we were going to be interviewing Lindsay Von Secca, and we weren't sure if we were going to be talking with her about her past films or not. We did. We talked with her about this film and Hot Tub Time Machine and her new one, The Love Heist, which you will see in just a little bit. This is a great little time-traveling movie about this woman who goes on this train trip. She's going back home for Christmas, and she goes back 10 years later. Out of nowhere, just 10 years later. And she has to figure out how to get back home. There's love, there's family, there's romance. It's a Hallmark movie, but it's a very good one. It has some good visual effects, great comedy, and great chemistry between our two leads here. Lindsay does a very good job here. Personally, my favorite film of her Christmas. So, next up was Definitely Maybe. I watched this because my co-host Kirsten and her dad and mom all three have told me for a couple of years now, you need to see Definitely Maybe. You need to see Definitely Maybe. You need to see the movie. After we did the interview with Lindsay on that day, I watched it right afterwards. Good little movie, very solid rom-com. It goes the way you think it will, but that doesn't make it a bad rom-com. If you do it correctly, you're cheering for different women. It's all about this little girl played by Abigail Breslin, who is questioning her father, who is my real mother? And then who did you really love? Because there's 3 girls. Elizabeth Banks, Rachel Weisz, and why can't I think of her name? She is the little cutie. Ezra Fisher.
There you go.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Stacy. Ezra Fisher. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Gorgeous woman. Love her to death. I loved this movie. It's all about him going, hey, which one did I actually love? Who am I still in love with? What happened here? What happened there? ... You know what happens. Then Michael came to VOD. My mother wanted to see it. I didn't get to see it in theaters with her. I went to theaters to see it. I loved my personal favorite movie of the year. She loved it as well. And this is not the only time you will see me talk about this on the video. Operation Mistletoe. We watched this because me and Kirsten both watched this because we were going to be interviewing Jen Lilly for the movie Operation Mistletoe, which has now been renamed Love Under the Mistletoe, premiering on the Hallmark Channel on July 25th, I believe. July 25th, 8 p.m. next down Hallmark Plus. But if you want to watch it right now, it's on Hulu. Good little movie all about this couple. It's her friend who basically wants to get these 2 people together. And she goes into Operation Mistletoe. Good little movie, basically trying to get them to kiss. You know what's going to happen. It's a Hallmarky type movie. It works. The Poseidon Adventure. This was another Wednesday night movie on Turner Classic Movie. Good movie. Very good movie. Great performances. A lot of likable stars in here. You get Grandpa Joe in it from Willy Wonka in here. And yes, everybody's going to view him as that. And in Chico and the Man, but this is one of his biggest movies that he's ever done. But Willy Wonka will always be his magnum opus. Good little movie. I enjoyed it. Bridesmaids, I rewatched this one. I gotta say, this is way too long at 2 hours and 10 minutes. And the laughs don't hit like they did the first time. Also, this is a female-driven movie. It's female-driven towards the female demographic. Good performances. A really good scene. Well, one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie is when Wig is just going off because she's had enough. She's had enough. Rose Byrne has taken enough of her best friend. She's doing this. She's doing that. She's taking her here. She's taking her here. And then they're going on a trip. And she looks at her and she goes, I bet you bleached your asshole just like hers. And and my Rudolph goes, yes, at least my asshole, and I like my new asshole. There's not very many movies I can think of where they're yelling about assholes. And is it immature? Well, yeah, it's immature, but
it's funny.
What else do you want? But it's funny.
Well, but you got to be real. But what it really comes down to is good writing and how also the dialogue is delivered, and it's delivered very, very well.
In particular scenes for me. Now, other times I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, we don't need this whole spiel. The third act of the movie really starts to drag after the breakup, and that was just way too much. The drama, speaking of way too much, this movie is a lot.
Man.
I'm not going to go very long on this one. This is a really, really good movie. But it's a movie that I don't think I can watch very many times because of the subject matter. This is all about Robert Pattinson and Zendaya are at dinner one night before they're about to get married. And they're with a couple of friends. And they're basically doing what's the craziest thing that you have ever done or almost did. And in the case of Zendaya's character, she almost planned a shooting at her school. Very tough scenes to watch, but they do it in such a way where it isn't disrespecting anybody, and you're watching it with unease. However, there's multiple scenes that are very oddly funny as well, with Pattinson trying to deal with it. And he's not sure, if he wants to go through with the wedding. Because of that, he's scared of her now. And B, does he think that he can live with it if he does? Zendaya is also trying to be like, hey, this was many years ago. I'm not the same as I was all those years ago. I've changed as a person and I have matured. Very hard movie to watch. Great movie. One of the most surprising movies of the entire year.
Yeah.
I needed a light watch after that one, so I went with Old Reliable. Friends with Benefits. Yeah. This is one of the funniest rom-coms I've ever seen. It is genuinely great. It's heartfelt. It's funny. It moves at a rapid pace. I saw this movie many times as a teenager because when you're a teenager, Luke can attest to this. You watch a lot of the same movies because you're not widening your horizons as much. Once you find something, you're like, okay, this is a reliable watch. i.e., I'm going to use you as an example. There are certain movies where if you're watching it, I know you need a comfort movie or you've had a bad day. i.e. Super Mario Bros. And Mario Galaxy being two of them, and the Jackass series. Those are your main comfort movies. For me,
yes,
if I'm having a bad day, I have Wonka. I have a When Harry Met Sally. I have multiple other ones. This is one of those for me. After the drama, you need something light because it is really hard to watch the drama and watch something just as hard and gripping afterwards. And
I couldn't. Oh God.
She's great.
Go ahead. Sorry.
She's great in this movie. I think that personally, she deserves an Oscar nomination for it, but she's not going to get it. There's no way that she's going to get an Oscar nomination. A Golden Globe, definitely, but not an Oscar.
I was going to say for the drama, I couldn't watch anything after that because my mind was just so engraved with that movie. Like I just could dude, I couldn't even give it a score like right after I watched it because it was really late at night when I watched it. Mm-hmm. I went into work the next morning and my mind was just solely focused on the drama.
Yep.
And I was trying to be like, what do I give this, dude? Like, what do I give this? So it's a film that sticks with you. Like, maybe not in the way that you want it to.
No.
But it does stick with you.
It's going to be a rewatchable one too, because if you want to sit down with a group of friends and actually have a discussion after a film, this is the one of the year, I think, because yes, Obsession, Hokum, Undertone, all those films are ones that you can have a discussion about, but the drama is something that you can reflect back on and think, wait, let's go back to our high school years. Let's think about how we treated people or how people treated us, because you see that in this film too. They're like, well, she wasn't treated very well. Her home life wasn't very happy. Da 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 da. The drama, great movie. Friends with Benefits, all-time favorite of mine. Then I rewatched George of the Friggin' Jungle again because my dog was getting antsy. He likes this movie a lot. That's all I gotta say about the movie. This one, however, I gotta say I am proud of my co-host Kirsten because she interviewed Heather Hemmings for Texas Two-Step. I think the second best Hallmark movie of the entire year. This movie is all about this woman who goes back to Texas to help her aunt with her country music bar that has fallen on hard times, and she reconnects with an old love interest named Luke. Her childhood sweetheart turned cowboy, and she finds a passion again for line dancing. As a country music fan, it every chord it needed to for me. When I'm at work, I play music. Most of the time, it's country music coming out of my speaker. Great movie, fantastic chemistry, beautifully done story, and Heather Hemmings and Brennan Penny have great chemistry. Olivia and Luke, two of the best couples we have on Hallmark this year thus far. Give me just 1 second. I gotta plug my laptop in.
Okay.
So, there we go. I'm bright again. After that, I watched The Way to You. This is a Hallmark movie that I was not all that hot on. It's a good one. It's a very solid one, but it's not what you want it to be. This is basically about these two people in New York, Emma and Conrad, and they agree to help each other find their misconnections after a subway blackout. But their search might lead to love, but not where either of them might expect to find it. You know where it goes. It's very generic, but sometimes when you're watching a Hallmark movie, it needs to be generic because you want happy warmth, happy light Hallmark, and that's what this gives you. And to end off this week, I watched Men in Black. I went to work, didn't have time to watch anything, and I just went, let's watch a Three Stooges short. Why
there
not?
You go.
All reliable. Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard. Green Canaries. Green Canaries. A freaking green canary popped on Bo's shoulder. Oh, you got company.
Oh man, some good old Three Stooges.
How can you not love the Stooges, man? Come on.
Yeah, man. Like you cannot go wrong with that. Alrighty.
16.
So 16th, Normal, the new Bob Odenkirk action movie directed by Ben Wheatley, who, of course, if you guys don't know, directed Free Fire and the movie Kill List. I got a kick out of Normal. This was such a badass movie. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah, badass. Bob Odenkirk, the man still got it. After two of the two Nobody movies, he has still got it. Like, the man knows what he's doing. Solo Mio. This is one that I checked out just out of pure curiosity. I skipped it in theaters because I didn't really care. But curiosity was kind of getting the best of me, so I just decided to watch it. You've seen this movie before. It's nothing new. Kevin James does show off some really good dramatic chops for his acting, and he does a good job. The movie just didn't really hook me, honestly. Like, it just didn't really do anything. All it really did was just make me go, okay, that's it. Okay. So I honestly am not really angry at myself for skipping it in theaters, because even though I would have preferred to see this over The Strangers Chapter 3 that weekend, though. Just full disclosure. And then the Super Mario Galaxy movie, as Noah was alluding to, this is a comfort movie for me. I mean, both the Mario movies are. But Super Mario Galaxy, it has a very messy story. I mean, can you really even call it a story at this point? Because there's really no story.
Not really. I mean, the Mario movies are basically like, let's just have as much fun as we possibly can, because clearly the audience doesn't care about story. When it comes to a Mario movie, it's made $1 billion.
Right, but at the same time, you kind of want, I mean, for a movie perspective, you do need a story.
Exactly. And for us, I will say this has more of a story than the first one does. More of a story than the first one. But the first one is more fun because it's a nostalgia-based movie. This one, I think that you have to agree with me that Galaxy doesn't follow the Galaxy game at all. It's just in name only. But at least we get a badass Star Fox.
I mean, hey, and they got honestly like one of my favorite rising actors, Glenn Powell, to voice Fox.
Yep.
You can't go wrong with that. But I will kind of disagree with you that this one had more of a story than the first one. The first one, I think, has a much more simple story. Like, like a story that was easier to follow, and you don't have to go like 27 different places just to follow the plot. This one makes you go to 20 to 30 different places just so you can follow the plot. Like, that's basically what the movie does. Like, goes in too many different places all at one time. And it can't really select like one path that needs to go.
No, but with that also being said, you have it out of 4.5.
Right. Like, that's just because I couldn't really overlook the narrative issues.
Exactly.
Because the first one, I was able to let that slide because it's not, like a super duper strong story. Like, what are you expecting? Like a Schindler's List type story with a Mario movie? But regardless of that, as I'm alluding to, yeah, this movie is a narrative mess. But that score is mainly for the Mario fan in me. I'm a Mario guy. I'm a Mario fan. So I'm not ashamed to say that I love these movies. But okay, that's my final say on that, because this movie was surrounded with so much controversy that I don't even want to talk about. It's ridiculous. And then I rewatched The Phoenician Scheme, which I think might be my most rewatched Wes Anderson movie now, because I've seen it now, I think 8 times, maybe 7 times. Yeah, I think it's become a comfort movie for me. Like a genuinely funny movie that just, it puts me in a better mood. And then I went and saw Obsession for a 3rd time.
You're freaky. if anybody doesn't get that reference, you haven't seen the movie yet.
Well, I'll tell you this really quick before I go on to the next one. If you log the movie multiple times, there is going to be a few different videos before it eventually saves to your diary. But it's depends on how many times you log it. So for the second and third time, it was a video from Michael Johnston, who plays Bear in the film, and he says, "Hey, Letterboxd user, I've heard you watched Obsession more than once. Are you okay?" I'm just kidding. And basically what the cast gives you, or what Michael Johnston gives you, is like a little piece of trivia about the movie. And this one, he said in the beginning of the film that around like the bar scene, he said he left his contact lenses at home and he can't see past here. So that's just what I got from like the piece of trivia that they showed on that little video clip. But for the more times you log it, like either you get one from Megan Lawless, who plays Sarah in the movie, or you'll get one from Cooper Tomlinson, who plays as Ian. So it just depends on how many times you log it, though. Because just for the second and third time, I got the one from Michael Johnston.
And we will see how many times that you rewatch it this year.
It's going to be a lot of times, probably. Just a guarantee. But yeah, love the movie, and I got to reunite with a high school buddy of mine after the movie, so that was fun. And then I saw Toy Story 5 the next day. Great movie, little too much going on. Like, honestly, like a little bit too much going on. Like, I think if you maybe cut down a little bit of the Buzz subplot, maybe it might have been better. If I have to say, because I mean, I like where they went with it, but at the same time, it was a little like, too much going around. And then after work the next day, I decided to go ahead and just go on a Jackass binge, and I rewatched 1, 2, and 3. Between those three, the second one is my favorite. They're the most unhinged stunts, I think, out of all of them. And honestly, they're the most memorable ones, at least in my opinion. But I mean, Jackass Forever is my personal favorite. But Jackass number 2 has the most memorable stunts. And then Superman the movie did that as a watch along to build up for Supergirl. Great movie. Rest in peace, Christopher Reeve. You are a legend. And then Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. I rewatched with a buddy of mine, and I still absolutely loved it, even after a 5th watch. It's just that good, man.
Obsessed with Obsession.
Yes, I am.
As is a lot of people. I mean, everybody is loving Obsession. Everybody is either liking it or loving it. I haven't seen a lot of people hate the movie, so I'm very happy about that.
Yep, that's good.
So, Pressure. This is a movie that I wanted to see for a very long time. If you don't know what this movie is, this is the perfect definition of a dad movie. This is all about a new meteorologist that is being trusted by Dwight Eisenhower 3 days before D-Day to figure out, is it going to be good enough for us to go and do the attack? Because one person who has never been wrong, but he hasn't had these climates yet. He hasn't had this low pressure system and this type of a jet stream in these other places. So now he has to gain the trust of Dwight Eisenhower, played by Brendan Fraser. This movie is great. It's dialogue driven. It's intense. It is powerful. It's a great different type of a war movie. It is my second favorite movie of the year. This is a hard hitting movie because with me saying that this is a movie about weather, if you knew nothing, Luke, would that interest you at all? If this was just a dialogue movie about weather?
50-50, but the trailer kind of sold it in a way to where it actually gets me intrigued. Exactly. If you just tell me that it's about weather, then I'm like, okay, 50-50. But I watched the trailer and I'm like, okay, you got me.
I kid you not. This is when I had to get day one. and I watched it day one because this is a movie I was chomping at the bit to see because Luke knows that I'm a weather nut. I watch the weather a lot. Every morning when I get up before I go to work, about 6 to 7 a.m., I watch the forecast on YouTube for the whole country to see what's going on. And when there's a storm going towards my friends, Luke knows this personally because there was a tornado warning 45 miles away from him. I'm like, Luke, just heads up, there might be a tornado warning. Depends on how the debris goes and how the scans are going. It dissipated, and I just let them know right there on stream. But I'm a weather nut. This movie was made for me. I love war movies. This is a perfect dad movie. It's going to be great. Solo Mio, I watched this before Luke did, and this was, Luke knows that Kevin James is my boy. He's a comfort actor for me. This was not it. This was neither funny nor very dramatic. He shows acting chops, but I think there's too much here that was not explored. They didn't explore the great chemistry between him and his love interest. There's too many other characters in here as well that I think we should have mainly stayed focused on this. And then when his ex-fiance comes back, I'm like, okay, this is going to be very generic. You know how this movie goes. This is a Hallmark movie. You know where it's going to go. And they just didn't do it properly because the script is not that well written.
No.
Kevin James is good. He's really good, actually. Didn't work, unfortunately. But hopefully the next Angel Studios movie is better. After that, we needed something to watch, and my mom said put on Grease. So we just watched Grease again. This
a classic.
Is one of my most rewatched movies. There was a time within 4 months or 3 months that I watched this 3 times because my mom wanted to watch it, then my grandma wanted to watch it, then my mom wanted to watch it again. So we're like, well, hell, why not Grease? And then the last of the disaster movies, Towering Inferno. This is basically about a hotel that's on fire. It is a good story, great performances, but oh my god, it does not need to be 2 hours and 45 minutes. This movie moves so damn slow. I just watched Django at the very beginning of the month, and it moves so much better. So much better than this one does. If you like it, that's awesome. I didn't grow up with it like my mom did, my dad did, and my grandma did. They all watched it for many, many years, and they love it. That's great. It was not for me. If they want to watch it, more power to them. After that, I just wanted something short, so I went with another Stooge short, Sing a Song of Six Pants. It's one of their public domain ones because there's only like 4 that are in the public domain. Disorder in the Court, Bride This Groom, Sing a Song of Six Pants, and
Malice in the Palace.
Malice, yep. And Malice in the Palace, along with a couple of their movies too. One of my all-time favorites. And then, of course, I went with another one, Disorder in the Court. Probably my favorite of the Stooge shorts because it was the first one I ever watched. And it's still funny to this day. Drop the vernacular.
All right.
That's a Dorothy. Drop the vernacular. No. It's a great. I freaking love it. I love it so much. Mrs. Doubtfire. Just threw this on. It's a comfort movie. The last like 30 minutes are a bit for me the more I watch it, because the more we get to see him as Mrs. Doubtfire in the restaurant as they're trying to pitch the show, but also have dinner with his family and screw over the new boyfriend in Pierce Brosnan. Sure, fine. It's a great movie. I just don't love the last 30 minutes. The next morning, I went with my family to go and see Toy Story 5 opening day. And I will tell you that my theater was full of people who had not seen the movies. Because my mom and dad have seen 1, 2, and 3. They did not see 4, so they didn't know Forky. They didn't know Duke. They didn't know a couple of other people. They're like, who are these people? I'm like, okay, before you go in here, I'm going to have to tell you what happens and why this is funny. They got it eventually. They didn't know why Bo Peep was there again, so I explained Bo being gone and what happened in 4. Kids were in here, of course. It's a Toy Story movie, of course. I was the only one in here who actually understood what the damn movie was going on and what was actually going on and why the emotional beats were working on me. Because I grew up with it. I'm the right age where I sat down and I watched all these movies when they came out or a little bit after they came out on tape and in theaters.
Yeah.
Little children are watching this because it's Buzz, because it's Forky, because it's Woody, because it's Bo, because it's Slinky. They're watching it for the characters. They don't understand what's going on. But for older kids, for adults like us, for older adults, this is a lesson that we all need to do because we are all sucked into these. We are sucked into these, or we're sucked into our tablets and our laptops. But there's other things going on in the world. And I was thinking back about, where are these toys in my basement? What happened to these toys? Because, yes, a One Wish Willow is technically being sold as a toy. It technically is being sold as a toy. But it's a collectible toy now.
Yeah, it's a collectible.
And it's speaking to you. Because this movie speaks to kids and adults who are old enough to understand. You are never going to outgrow your inner child. It's okay. You find friends along the way. Because when we were kids, we didn't have a lot of friends. Luke and I did not have a lot of friends. Well, close friends. I had
like
a lot
close
of friends
yeah.
in high school who we knew. We were nice to each other. Cool. But close friends, I didn't have very many. Luke did not have very many close friends along with me. So this movie was speaking to us as well. Because what Bonnie has to go through, we see what happens. You find real friends. Great movie. I really enjoyed it. There's a bit too much going on, and the emotional beat, I don't think I shared this with Luke. Did I show you or tell you what was supposed to be the original ending of Toy Story 5?
I don't think you told me what it was.
Okay. Let me pull it up here because I still have it, I believe. I do not have it. Okay. So it was basically supposed to be where Emily was supposed to come back as the grandmother. And she was going to see Jessie again. Jessie was going to see Emily as an adult. But then they changed it into Emily named her daughter Jessie. So they changed.
Yeah.
So a very emotional scene. And this is a Jessie movie. Love that Jessie gets her own movie. Phenomenal movie. I enjoyed it. Not the best. Definitely not the best. But really good. Hungry Killer Hippos. Moving on. The Love Heist. Okay. Lindsay, I love you. No, this movie's bad. This is a poorly written mystery romance all about this dress that was supposed to be worn by Elizabeth Taylor, that is supposed to be worn by this client, which if you are supposed to be styling for one of the best known and most expensive and well-known stylists in all of the world, you need to be a little bit more careful than just leaving the dress sitting in your hotel room unattended and unguarded. We don't get to really know the person who's wearing the dress either, or who is supposed to be wearing the dress. So now it's up to Lindsay Fonseca and her co-star Peter to find out where the dress is, along with all these other priceless gems. They don't focus on a lot of the priceless gems like an engagement ring. The dress, they look for the dress. Fine, they look for the dress. But then they have to focus on the romance. So they focus on the romance, but they focus on the romance a little too much, and they don't really focus on finding the dress. When they find the dress, it's somebody who you are not expecting because he's not seen in the movie more than maybe a couple of, maybe 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes tops.
Yeah.
He's barely a character. The movie absolutely goes nowhere. I love Lindsay Fonseca. I love getting to talk to her. Sweetheart of a girl. The movie, however, is really poor. I did not like it. If you enjoyed this movie, God bless you. This was not for me. Sister Act. This was on ABC, and then I remembered, wait, why don't I just put this on YouTube? Because I have it hooked to my Prime, so everything I buy on Prime goes on my YouTube movies, so we just watched the rest on there. This was actually the first time watch for me, Luke, believe it or not. I had never seen Sister Act.
Wow, okay.
This was really solid. Funny moments. Of course, I've seen the ending multiple times. I will follow him wherever he may go. Because we sang that song in the youth chorale my junior year, I think. The women, the sopranos and altos, sang the song I Will Follow Him. And really solid. Okay. Luke, who's my boy?
John friggin' Cena.
Who's the biggest John Cena fan you know?
I wonder. I cannot quite put my finger on it. Oh, wait a second. He's in the room here. It's this guy.
That's me. Cena's my boy. When he retired, it was the hardest day, one of the hardest days of my entire life. I kid you not. When he announced his retirement at Money in the Bank in 2024, I was crushed. I knew it was coming. But when you see your childhood hero, right? When Michael Jordan retired, when Tiger Woods is going to retire, eventually retires, Dwayne Wade, Shaq, Kobe Bryant, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady. This is my version of those guys. Cena is it. When he retired, it was a very hard day. Then I'm like, okay, let's see what he does in the movies. I was potentially going to get to interview John Cena for it. I did not get the interview because they didn't get back to me about it, but they were kind enough to send me a screener for it, for Little Brother. This is all about Cena, who hasn't seen his adopted little brother, who he only took care of for like one day 30 years ago, played by Eric Andre. And Cena's character is just trying to become a character on this well-known reality show. And all they're worried about is drama. He didn't know that going in. Eric Andre comes back in his life, and now his life goes to hell. This movie is not that funny. It's not that funny. The movie falls flat with comedy. What doesn't fall flat is the performances. Cena does a very good job here leading this, because there's multiple scenes where I think they could have gone a bit further with it. Not saying what happens in a car, but let's just say something happens with Cena's ass. And yes, we've seen him do stuff with his ass and stuff like blockers with the butt chug. This is completely different. Yep. This is completely different. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I watched this. The scene that made me laugh the hardest is probably the most immature scene in the entire movie, is when Eric Andre is stuck in the car because Cena told him, don't move, don't leave. I have to do the show. Stay here. He really has to pee. So Eric Andre is like, how do I pee? I can't really get the bottle. I can't really do this. I can't really leave because I was told not to leave. He sees this little crack in the window, on the passenger side window. So he decides to whip it out and aim. And then he aims. And he eventually makes it. And then he doesn't get quite there, and then someone's up in his mouth and everything. It's very gross out. It's very stupid humor, but man, did I not have a decent time with that one, because at least I got a laugh out of the movie. The movie does fall flat, but the performances are great. Eric Andre does not play a likable character whatsoever, because they don't give a lot of depth to his character until the last half hour. But enough on that one. Going a little bit faster, The Wizard of Oz, all-time classic. The most wonderful time of the year. Yeah, it is a Hallmark Christmas film that I absolutely love. And next, we will just fly through the next week, because we've got the 23rd through the 30th.
Yeah. All right. So the 23rd, I started off. I did a watch along with the Nerd Talk crew of Superman. It's still awesome. David Cornsweet is perfect as Superman. I don't know what else to say.
Yep.
And then the next day I watched Mother Mary. This is the new David Lowery movie starring Anne Hathaway. This was a pretty big disappointment. I was looking forward to it based on the fact that it was David Lowery, and it's also, of course, A24. Anne Hathaway, I love her to death. This movie was kind of boring. Honestly, I thought it was boring. Great visual style, great performances, good music. We'll say good music. Just the story never hooked me. Like, it failed to really compel me and to really give me any reason to be invested. So yeah, this was an unfortunate misfire. And then Dogma. I think this was the last one in the Jay and Silent Bob movies from Kevin Smith that I had not seen yet. And I'm glad I finally got around to watching it. Good movie. I will say it is a good movie. It is not one of my favorites. It's not even my favorite Kevin Smith movie, to be honest with you. That still goes to either Clerks or Mallrats. But it is funny. But it's also not really what I was expecting it to be. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
But I did enjoy it overall, and I'm glad I finally watched it. And then I rewatched, I should say, How to Make a Killing. Massively underrated movie. A movie that I think got a little bit too much hate, and I still think it gets too much hate. If people say Glenn Powell can't lead a movie, either rewatch this or go watch Hitman and The Running Man, because that man can lead a movie.
And Anyone But You as well.
Oh yeah, so Anyone But You. I mean, Twisters. I mean, Twisters. He's technically co-lead, but it still counts as a lead.
Still, he's on the front of the poster. So I mean,
yeah. So Glenn Powell is a powerhouse. So you can't prove me up. Like, you can't prove me otherwise. I'm sorry, you can't. And then I watched a little indie horror film called Saccharine. I'm sure a lot of you guys have never heard of this movie, but the basic premise is you have a girl who works as a medical student, or is a medical student in college, and she's not happy with how she looks in regards to her weight. So she finds she gets these weight loss pills, and this is gonna sound so messed up. Like, by the time I say this, apparently the human pills were made from human ashes. So she takes them unaware that they're made from human ashes, and she starts to become haunted by the ghost of those ashes of the person it belonged to. And if you get kind of winced by close-ups of people eating, then do not watch this movie, because there's quite a bit of that in this film. I will say it made me wince a few times, because I'm like, that's just gross.
Which is why I'm not going to watch it.
It is definitely a gross movie for sure, in regards to whenever they do close-up shots of that. And it is definitely a very dark and messed up movie. But I liked it. It was good. It was something definitely different and unique. But not a movie that I loved, and not a movie I plan on revisiting, because it is very messed up. I mean, plus the freaking concept of that, like when she takes those weight loss pills, like, and it's because of the fact that they're made from human ashes. I'm like, dude, that is way too messed up.
Yep.
But anyways, I'm going on a little bit too long, but I did want to go a little bit in depth about it in case if anyone has not seen it. But
you're good.
All right. Next one is Supergirl. Honestly, now my most disappointing movie of the year. I was looking forward to it because of how much I love Superman. This movie pretty much missed the mark. Millie Alcock is fantastic. She is great as Supergirl. She definitely proved she can be Supergirl. Jason Momoa was awesome as Lobo. I think he should have gotten more screen time. And when you say that Lobo was the best part of a Supergirl movie, then you know something's wrong. The action wasn't that great. A lot of it, quite a bit of it, is either cutaway or very much obscure in the background. And the sidekick character that Supergirl goes on this adventure with, I didn't find her to be a very interesting character at all. The villain was boring and very, very lame. And the needle drops are so overabundant that it got annoying. Especially if you've heard about it, that one needle drop specifically in the third act, I am like, this does not fit the film at all. You needed a score, which is what Superman did for most of it. It had a couple needle drops, but it didn't go overabundant like Supergirl did. So, and apparently out of my friend group, I was the only one when we went and saw this last week that didn't actually enjoy it. Because the friends I went with, they enjoyed it. My friend was like, "Oh man, that was so much fun. Did you like it?" I was like, "No." I was being honest. I did not like it. It's not awful. It's definitely not awful. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it is so disappointing compared to Superman. Like, I know people are gonna be like, "Don't compare it to Superman." Really?
You have to.
I mean, you kind of, but this feels way too small scale for a movie, like in regards to a superhero movie. This kind of just looks like one of those ones that would be on streaming. I don't like saying that, but that's just how I feel. Like, this kind of felt like The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yep, and everybody is also saying, wait a minute. So you're telling me the DC EU is dead? No, we're not saying that. You remember what happened with this little movie? Or this little franchise called the MCU?
Just because they bombed, that doesn't mean they stopped.
No, exactly.
It's going to be the same thing with DC. Like James Gunn's DC. He has I think it was him or was somebody else that specifically said that just because this movie bombed, or if Clayface or Man of Tomorrow doesn't do well, that doesn't mean they're going to stop. They are still following through with their plan, and they're going to keep going no matter what.
And that depends also if James Gunn does stay, because him and the Ellisons at Paramount do not see eye to eye. So if the deal with Warner Brothers and Paramount does go through, if the courts don't make the deal disband, then will he stay? Because if he does not stay, if he leaves Warner Brothers, the DCU's in trouble. Because if Feige leaves Marvel, imagine if Feige left Marvel, right?
Then Marvel would be in deep crap. Same thing with DC once James Gunn leaves. Like, if he does end up leaving. But that doesn't mean for the movies, though. Like, the movies themselves, they can play a factor, but like, it also just depends on the whole bidding war that is going on.
And you have to have a driving force. And with James Gunn being a driving force, he is the driving force. But everyone is also saying he's not paying as much attention as he should because he's making Man of Tomorrow. And he made Superman, which means he wasn't paying much attention to Supergirl, which I think is also true. Because you either have to be a writer and director, or you have to be a studio head. I don't think that you can do both. Kevin Feige has kept his nose out of it. He wants to make a Marvel movie. He wants to make a Star Wars movie. He wants to make movies. But he knows that if he doesn't put his all into Marvel, boom, Marvel's going to go downhill, because in 2020, they were told, hey, you need to put as much content out as you possibly can. That's why after the last movie was under the Chapek era, was Captain America, Brave New World. Then you had the new the new Avengers and Fantastic Four. That's when Marvel was coming back. You can't really screw up Deadpool, because they just gave them a free reign. They gave him a free reign.
Exactly.
So, and that's the one character you do it with. If
exactly
Day falls flat on its face and it completely sucks, if it is awful, we might be in trouble with Secret Wars. But none of the Avengers movies have been bad. None of them have been bad.
That is very true.
Because they put their all into it. With two movies to a franchise, you can't say it's either, oh, Superman was great, that means we're saved. You can't say that, because you need to see what happens with Clayface.
Exactly.
Supergirl, Superman, Man of Tomorrow. You need to see what happens with Batman, and you need to see what happens with Wonder Woman and everybody else he's bringing into. Because the Lanterns are coming in August. So if Lantern is good on Max, does that mean we're back? No, that just means that particular project is good.
Exactly.
You need to see what happens, because if James Gunn is a driving force, keep your nose out of it. Keep your nose stuck into making the best content that you can as an executive producer and a studio head, instead of making Superman and Superman Man of Tomorrow. After Man of Tomorrow, his contract is done. His Warner Bros. Contract is done at the end of 2027. So everything that he has his name onto that will come out in 2028, that doesn't mean he helped with it at all. That's what his contract was for 2027, what he worked on in 2027. But I don't think that the DC EU is done yet. I really don't think so. Because you need to see what happens.
Exactly. And plus the thing is, we have Clayface coming out in October. You cannot rely on that film to be the one that's being like, oh my God, the DCU is saved. Do you really think that Clayface would be that movie?
And a body horror movie? No.
That's what I'm saying. Because, for us fans, for DC and also for us horror fans, we're pumped for Clayface.
Yeah.
We want to see Clayface. James Watkins directing, Mike Flanagan writing the script. Easy sell right there. That is that will get us in the seats. No question about it. But if we're talking financially, Clayface, it might be a success. We don't know yet.
And it depends on marketing.
Yes, it depends on marketing. We don't know if it'll be a success or not. But you can't just go on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and just blow everything out of proportion just because of the fact that Supergirl did not do well in regards to reception with critics.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also failing at the box office. You can't do, you should not do that. Anyways, we're rambling on too long about Supergirl, a movie that is not even that good.
Lego movie.
Let's talk about the Lego movie, or as the song suggests, everything is awesome. Yeah. It's a genuinely great movie, very heartfelt and also very clever. And then I watched Munich for the first time. It was good. This is a movie I never see myself watching again. This was a really, really slow and kind of boring movie. I gave it a 3 out of 5 because I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, of course, love Spielberg, but the movie, it feels way too dragged out because it is almost 3 hours long. And you feel that runtime. So, great performances, interesting story that I think was actually done better by the movie September 5. because it was more condensed and it actually felt like a tighter script. This one was kind of all over the place. And here was the film that I was alluding to when we were talking about Criterion, The Piano Teacher. This is a film that is directed by Michael Haneke, who directed Funny Games from 1997, a movie that I was not a fan of. But I was willing to give him another shot because maybe that just was a rocky first effort for me to watch, because that film is not for me.
Yep.
And The Piano Teacher, people were talking about it. Hell, I've seen some actors or even directors pick this one out for Criterion Closet picks. And I was like specifically Mikey Madison. She picked this one out for a Criterion Closet pick. I was like, okay, I will give this one a watch. And if anyone doesn't know what this movie is about, it's basically about a piano teacher that's played by Isabelle Huppert, who is a very sexually repressed woman. And she builds this romance with a younger guy who is one of her students. So, yeah, this was not for me at all. This was not for me. Also, felt way too long. So, yeah, I don't really want to talk about that movie.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hey, Grace.
Hey, Grace.
Welcome in.
And then I rewatched Rat Race, which is one of my favorite comedies. I think it's hilarious, pretty much from beginning to end.
I'm groundhogging it.
It's a race. Gotta love Rowan Atkinson. Also, Wayne Knight makes an appearance in this movie.
Yeah, he does.
And he is hilarious. Honestly, one of the funniest parts of the whole movie.
He's great. It's been years. Probably a decade since I've seen Rat Race.
I mean, hell, like the scene when Breckenmeyer and Amy Smart are trying to fly over to New Mexico in a helicopter. She said she wants to stop by and say hi to her boyfriend, and she catches her boyfriend cheating on her. Did I come at a bad time? Genuinely funny movie. I mean, when you get the guys that directed the original Naked Gun and Airplane, then you're in a good spot. And then I watched Pootie Tang for the very first time because my buddy Eddie, aka Fans of Something, shout out to you, my guy, has been really, really wanting me to watch this movie. I finally checked it out just out of pure curiosity. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's ridiculous. Like, it is a very, very ridiculous movie. But it knows it, and it has fun. So I had a good time with it. And then we have Taste of Cherry. This is a Iranian film from filmmaker. Hold on. I literally have the film. Okay. I remember to pronounce the filmmaker's name correctly. Abbas Kiarostami. It is a Iranian film, and it is about a guy who is wanting to end his life. I'm putting it that way because you know how YouTube is with some stuff like that. And he goes around looking for people to bury him after he eventually passes away. And there's this one guy that he finds while he's driving around, and he tries to convince him otherwise to not go through with this. And it is a very, very sad, bleak, and depressing movie, but it is a very powerful film. A film that is definitely worth one watch. And now we have Mirror, a film directed by Andrei Tarkovsky. This film is admittedly very, very weird, very strange. And it's very metaphoric, but a really good one. And then I rewatched Black Widow. That was for a watch along. I also did on Nerd Talk. Very, very fun movie. Gets a little bit too much hate. Not gonna lie. And then The Evil Dead, absolute classic. One of my favorite horror films of all time. And makes me even more stoked for Evil Dead Burn. And then to end off the month, I had Primate. Again, just needed something to throw on. I was like, I didn't see this one since theaters. Might need a bit of a refresher. And it is just as fun as I remember. gnarly freaking kills though, dude. Oh man. Oh, the bedroom kill specifically. Oh
my
man.
gosh.
Oh,
Brutal, but in the best way.
Johannes Roberts did not hold back, and I applaud him for it.
And that is what Luke watched in the month of June. We will see what he watched in July next month. So to end this off, I'm going to go through what I watched through the rest of the month and then a little bit about Obsession. So I rewatched Cinderella because I wanted to try something different for my puppy to watch. He really enjoyed this one. He likes movies with music. He really, really does. So I figured Cinderella has a lot of music. It's a childhood favorite. It's a Disney classic. Everybody has seen Cinderella at one point or another. Great movie. 101 Dalmatians. Wanted to try another film on him. He really loved this one too. Oh my God, did he love this movie. The dogs were on screen. He was watching it. When a dog is on a normal movie, he doesn't like barking. He doesn't like the barking. He doesn't like the growling. He doesn't like the whimpering. He hates it. This is a movie that he loves, which means I can pop this on anytime I want for him. I don't have to watch it with him. I just have to have something on for him. Easy movie for me to watch. A Castle of Our Own, the final Hallmark movie of the entire month. And this is all about this woman who goes on a vacation with her daughter, and she's moved from place to place to place to place to place. And now they are on this beach, and they meet Mr. Brennan Elliott. Welcome back to Hallmark, good sir. It's great to have you back. We missed you. We missed you so much. A Hallmark regular for over a decade and a half. Very solid. It's all about this sandcastle contest. They basically have to have the best sandcastle. Great little story. It feels original. It's very different for Hallmark, and it actually feels like a summer movie, whereas the Greek Isle, the Texas Two-Step, and the Love Heist did not feel like a summer nights movie. It really did not. I enjoyed it. Very happy to get to watch it early. Thank you to Hallmark for the screener, and check out the interview that Kirsten did with the two leads of this movie on Heartful of Hallmark podcast channel. Christmas Eve on Sesame Street. Luke knows why I watch this.
It's for the dog. Your dog loves Christmas stuff, man. So
how many times have we been on a phone call at night and I told you that this is on?
Probably like 50 times at this point.
Yeah, pretty much, because he loves it that much. Cowabunga!
Cowabunga, dude.
It's cute. I used to watch this as a toddler. I had the VHS tape of it. And multiple times I just popped it in because it was Sesame Street. I didn't know the seasons. I'm like, it's just Sesame Street. Cool. A Royal Christmas, one of my favorites. It's a Hallmark Christmas movie, basically all about this woman played by the lovely Lacey Chabert, who falls in love with a guy who doesn't reveal to her that he is a prince. So she goes back to his land and he wants to get married, but first they have to talk his mother into liking her, meeting the family, Cool. Went over to my grandma's house and I watched a few things on the Criterion channel. So, Doodlebug. This is a short film. Luke, do you know who made the short film?
Is that Chris Nolan?
It is Christopher Nolan.
It's a wild guess.
It's Christopher Nolan. It's 3 minutes. There's something in his apartment. A man looking for an insect-like thing devolves into a bout of insanity with his own subconscious mind, as his own subconscious mind begins to strangle his walking one. This is really solid. Really good stuff. Oh my God. Did it feel original? But Why is it 3 stars? I would like to see this as a feature film. I think if you made this as a horror movie, it would really work. But as a 3-minute short film in 1997, this is really solid. By the Kiss. Okay, this is very different. This is really different, actually. So this is all about this woman. She's standing there, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this. She's making out with different people. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. That's all the short is. It's just her kissing and making out and getting really physical with different people for about 5 minutes. Why is it 2.5 stars? Well, I don't have it as high because I don't think that the story was all that strong. But there's multiple moments here where you're thinking, oh, wait, okay. So the movie is about intimacy. How far are you willing to go before it's considered too much and where it's pleasurable? It's all about pleasure and consent. And this is a great example of this. It's a very well done short. It's beautifully shot in black and white. But I think if you expanded upon this a little bit more, there's no dialogue in this short whatsoever either, Luke. None. It's making out and music. That's all it is. She makes out with like 4 or 5 different people in different variations and different versions of intensity. And it's a very well done. I can't say anything about the performances besides our lead in Kate Moran. Very, very solid performance. But the short is very weird. It's different. It feels original, but it has a lot to say about intimacy and coordination with your sexual partner. Pressure. I wanted to show this to my grandma, and she absolutely loved this movie. My grandma does not like swearing. She hates swearing. That's why she can't watch a traditional war film like a Hacksaw Ridge. Well, a lot of language. A Schindler's List. A Saving Private Ryan. R-rated. Sex. Nudity. Language. She doesn't mind the violence that much because it's a war movie, but if there's if there's sex, nudity, and language, she doesn't want to watch it. Pressure has very little language. It's very heavy on the dialogue, like I've already said. And my mom and dad also watched this, and they got a lot out of it too. Very well done film. And then my grandma and my uncle wanted to watch Michael. So I rewatched Michael with them. Still my favorite movie of the year. And there's multiple things now coming up on my For You page, on my Instagram reels, of just people dancing in the theater and kids at home dancing to Michael Jackson's songs and music videos. Cutest little things I've ever seen. Adorable. Luke, I'm going to have to share a couple of those with you because that's great. It's really cute. But
I remember you sent me an Obsession meme where it was actually like a Michael Jackson dance instead of Nicki.
Yeah.
That you got me there, dude. That was good. I had seen the meme, but it was still funny.
And I also sent you a thing on Facebook with a clown that scared the crap out of Mike. It started with him. A study in choreography for camera. This is a 2-minute short that was watched on the Criterion Channel, and it's basically just them filming a dance routine on camera. It's very well done. It's original. It's beautifully shot. The black and white looks gorgeous. It serves its purpose. For those who think young. Okay, Luke, have you heard of this movie?
I don't think I have.
For those who think young. So, what is this movie about? I'm going to read this word for word. A wealthy young man tries to woo a university student while her 2 uncles work to popularize a local club. Yes, there's also that. But there's also a subplot where the university the young man's grandfather is trying to screw over the young girl. because they don't like that he takes an interest in her. There's also a subplot where he's like, hey, let's see if I can actually get her to love me, because this isn't like the other girls I've hooked up with. This is legitimately, I love this girl and I want to prove it to her. What he doesn't know is she is tagging him along and dragging him along to see how far he's actually willing to go before he professes something. And this is a film in 64 that does go a bit further than I thought it would. It goes a bit raunchier than I thought it would. Not in the sexual sense, but in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, you had to be very careful with what you portrayed and what you showed. This was very hard hitting. It also has a pre-Gilligan's Island 2 actors on there with Tina Louise and Bob Denver in here. And Bob Denver, great. I'm a Gilligan fan. I love Gilligan's Island. You can definitely tell this was pre-show, but I didn't know that they were in a project together. Different characters for them, but very, very good. Solid little movie. I enjoyed it. It's funny. Good music. Am I going to rewatch it? I'm not sure. I'm going to have to see how much a physical copy is, if there is a physical copy of it. But I watched this on Amazon Prime. A Christmas Mystery. Started Christmas in July a little bit early. Okay. Yeah. Christmas Mystery. This is a movie, all right. This is all about this. After the death of her husband, Annie Willows, played by the lovely Jen Lilly, love her to death. She returns to her hometown and becomes the deputy sheriff. Though determined to not stay, a mysterious crime and the town's warmth draws her back to what really matters: family, love, and the spirit of Christmas. There's a mystery in here that is not explored that well. And there's multiple subplots here. There's a romance involved where there's no chemistry between our two leads here. And the most chemistry is between the mother and daughter storyline, where the daughter is being drugged from place to place to place because she finds some place where she feels like home in this town. And her mother goes, I actually have another job opportunity that can make us feel like home. So now it's up to her daughter to basically be like, hey, this is home. Why can't you see we have everything here that we need? The mystery is not all that intriguing. If you left it as a family movie, I think it would have been fine. But the crime aspect did not work at all. I liked it. It was cozy enough. It worked fine. The Christmas Mixer. This is something I had no expectations for. When a laid-off TV host and her cameraman launch a live stream holiday baking challenge, they whip up viral success, community spirit, and an unexpected romance. They basically do a live stream for 25 days with her baking a different thing because she was on a show like A Good Morning America and a Today Show where she did a baking segment. Everybody watched it for her and they fell in love with her. They don't know where she went, and now she's back with her live stream. It's very sweet. It's charming. It knows what it is. Is it great? No, but it's a hell of a lot better than Jonathan's new movie I saw, 100 Days in Dallas. And then ending off the month, we only have two more to talk about. Tidings for the season. So we came home from Indiana. This was on the Hallmark Channel. If you don't know what this is about, it's all about this 10-year-old who meets his childhood hero in the newscaster played by the phenomenal BJ Britt. Adam Cade is trying to rediscover his love of Christmas and love, but we have to figure out, how do these two fall in love? Can she trust him even when she said in the beginning, I don't like your style of broadcasting because the news is all basically doom and gloom? Luke agrees with me. There should be a lot more happiness on the news, but there isn't, unfortunately. And this movie does explore that quite a bit. It's very charming. It's sweet. It's funny too, because the kid and him have great chemistry. Elijah Lewis, great little actor here, great little actor as Robbie. And how can you not love Tamara Moore? Come on. She's Tamara Mori. Sister, anybody. If you haven't seen it, leave my channel. Nightfall. This is a noir crime film set in 1956. An innocent man turns fugitive as he reconstructs events that implicate him for a murder and robbery he did not commit. This was really solid, beautifully done, great performances, but the mystery could have done, the crime aspect could have been handled a little bit better, just a wee bit better. Then to end this off, I am going to talk a little bit about Obsession. Obsession is the box office smash of the year. The movie goes places I didn't think it would go, but it also didn't go as far as I wanted to with Nikki. I thought they could have gone a bit more heavy in the beginning because there were multiple signs here. And Luke and I are not going to go into the full-on discussion that we did. I'm just going to give you my brief thoughts. It's a very good movie. Very good movie. Phenomenal performances. Indy should get an Oscar nomination. She's not going to win. I don't think she wins for this. But here's the thing. I'm seeing a lot of people saying it's Best Picture worthy. It's Best Picture nomination worthy. Okay. Have you seen Digger? Have you seen many of the other Oscar nominations movies that are coming out in November and December?
I mean, hell, there might even be one for a Best Actor nomination that's not even released in November, which is Primetime.
Exactly.
Like, that could get Robert Pattinson an Oscar nod.
We don't know. I just think it's too early for everybody to going, this is Oscars. The only one that is Indy. I think the only lock is Indy. Because this could be the situation of, oh, wait a minute. What's that little movie that everybody was saying was going to get a Best Picture nomination last year, Luke, that only got one nomination?
Weapons.
Who said it wasn't going to get a Best Picture nomination? Who said that she was going to win? Who was right? On both accounts. Me. Me. Do I think that Obsession gets a nomination? Maybe. But is it going to have the lasting impact that multiple other films last year did? Is it going to stick with people like Sinners did? I don't think so. I think it is the hot topic of the moment because he is a young star. He is a young filmmaker. A lot of people don't know Curry Barker's work. They're going back and rediscovering it. Studios are now discovering him. Now he has more movies in the works. What I think this is a very good first opportunity at big Hollywood. What I don't like is Bear is insufferable the more we get to know him. And they try and do a little bit of a bait and switch on you. They try to get you to feel bad for him. But you can't feel bad for somebody when he knows that he's hurting the person that he's supposed to be loving. When she cries out in her sleep. To kill her. Because she knows that she can't get through to him unless she's sleeping. Because the obsessed Nikki isn't going to let her do that. She breaks through every once in a while because it's like a little push here and there. There's multiple moments in the movie that are very, very creepy. Multiple jump scares that work. It's not like a false scare. One thing that's not explained is her little dancing moves, how she creeps around the house a little bit. That's what's not explained. I think you could have explained that a little bit better about why she did that. But
I've actually got one reason why. It's because of the fact that the wish, like, the wish is fully taking control of her. Like,
yep.
And there's somewhat of like, and there's some people, I'm just going to go ahead and actually just go ahead and spoil this because Indy has even said this in an interview once about this one theory she heard about where maybe she's actually possessed by the cat.
Well, here's what everybody is also thinking. Ready? That the same spirit in the empty chair. And in his other shorts is the same entity.
That could be one. But like I was saying, she might be like one theory that maybe could be true for like why she was like, you know, doing those like creepy walks like that is probably because she was possessed by Bear's dead cat.
Yep. Which that's all fine and dandy. But for me, a lot of people are saying there's so many unanswered questions. Yes, but they answer a lot of your questions too. They don't answer the ones, why is she doing this? They leave it up to theories. And that's fine. That's fine. That didn't work for me though. Bear is insufferable as a character because when you're hurting the woman you love, you should not be okay with keeping it going. And you should be a man and do what your woman wants you to do, especially when you know she's nuts. Why would you go out there and speak to your friend Sarah, who she knows likes you? Why would you even go out there in the first place? Because that's bad character decision. That's bad character decision making, which it is a horror movie. Every horror movie has stupid character decisions. It's an inevitability. This is not like that, though. It is a bad character decision, but it's only one. It's one that I absolutely hated. And the other major thing that I did not love was a budget constraint. When Sarah is attacked, when Nikki is attacking Sarah and smashes her face in, that is one where I'm like, okay, fine. This is a budget constraint because there's only one shot where it's actually her, and then it's a very poorly designed dummy that looks nothing like her. And then it just shows the skull and the gore and the blood. I mean, it's well done effects with the makeup, but the body looks nothing like her, and it looks very, very cheap. It looks very cheap. But again, that's a budget constraint. It was made for $750,000. It's much better than what we could have done with it because we are not Curry Barker. But the movie is really good. It's very good. There's just multiple aspects where I don't think I can rewatch this and love it because it leaves more questions unanswered that I think could have been simple. Instead of theories, you actually answer the questions. And yes, it's a thought-provoking movie, and that's probably what he wanted, was everybody to go, this theory, that theory, this theory, that theory. Great. But as a movie fan myself, I wanted answers. And Curry Barker normally gives you answers in his short films. He lets you know this, and this. But he's very good at leaving you with theories too. He switches up and he twists it on its head and leaves a theory. I'm hoping he doesn't do that though, because Luke knows one of my least favorite filmmakers on the block is Osgood Perkins. His movies don't work for me because it's the same fucking thing every movie. It feels like the same movie. It feels like the same style, and you can tell it's an Osgood movie. And I'm not going to stand here and say that style's bad. When I watched the trailer for Werewolf, oh my god! 2 seconds in, you know whose movie
you know who it is. Like you know who made that movie.
2 seconds.
But here's another thing with Curry. Like when it comes to directing with Obsession, it feels like he has like 10 movies worth of experience.
Yeah.
Because that is how well directed it is.
And it's very well directed. My issue is with the script. Here. It's not a bad script. It's not a bad script. It's just I wish more was answered. I think you could have written Bear just a little bit more sympathetic, particularly after he knows what he's doing. Because after he knows what he's doing, then I lose all likability in that character.
Right.
Because you're cheering for him the whole entire time. And then they did that character switch. And that's where I'm like, oh, dang. What's happening here? Don't go this route. Because as a person, I don't like that in my movies. If you're going to be a bad character, be a bad character. like a Marty Supreme. Be a bad person. Have him be a bad person. Unless you're doing like a villain origin story or a superhero movie where you're telling an origin story, then do it that way. But if you're doing something where you're telling a story, you're supposed to be sympathetic for this guy, but he's doing such stupid and unforgivable things when he knows it's a bad it's a bad thing. He knows what he's doing is bad, but he makes the bad decisions anyways because horror movie has to horror movie.
And here's my thing with the fact of how many bad decisions he keeps on making. His ego takes over him, like, because now that he's finally with Nikki, he's basically like, I'm gonna be in this relationship with Nikki, like whether anyone likes it or not. Like, that's basically his character. And yes, it's terrible decision making for him, like, because obviously he doesn't have a clue of what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what makes that film so brilliant, is that because I said this before, Curry was offered, I spoke with Noah on the phone last night about this. Curry was offered $2 million to rewrite the script and make Bear the hero. And I'm like, I am very glad he turned that down, because
and the movie would not work.
It would not, mainly because of the fact that it would be very, very straightforward. Like, it'd be the most generic, and I mean in all caps, generic character. But they do something to actually kind of make Bear a more unconventional character. Like, the more unconventional than you would expect in your typical horror film that relies on something like about codependency in relationships.
Exactly.
And the way that it explores codependency in relationships is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad they actually went the route of making Bear more unlikable as the film went along, because it makes you feel more bad for Nikki.
I see your point too. And we speak like this all the time. We both know I don't dislike this movie. I like the movie. I like the movie.
I know you do.
But this movie just pisses me off because I see the potential and I see what I would have done. But see, I'm not a filmmaker. But I know filmmakers would do this too. Sitting here as somebody who has seen, as has Luke, we've seen thousands of movies with unlikable characters. This movie, I feel like you're cheering for Bear. Nikki, the marketing really looks like she's the villain. It really,
she's not.
Like she's the villain. That's the marketing. That's marketing for you.
But when you get to the movie, Bear is the main villain of the film, because also the thing I like about it, when they were writing it, Nikki was genuinely a good person.
She was a good person to a point. Now I mean
before the wish was made, obviously,
yeah,
like before the wish was made, like Nikki was like genuinely a good person.
Very good person. Now everyone is gonna say yes, but she was sleeping with her friend. Are you telling me you haven't had a friend who sleeps with a couple of your friends, because you know?
I would have morally put the blame on Ian, because he kept it secret from Bear for 2 years.
Yeah,
and
but
directly behind his back.
Nikki also didn't do it either. Nikki also didn't say anything either, because it was both of them. And my biggest thing is, I really wish they didn't do the thing where they're at the car and they're on the ride home and Nikki goes, "Do you like me?" before she walks into her house. He didn't say a damn word. You had your shot right there. You had your shot. That is what made me angry. Because I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, you know what you're going to do. She gave you your opportunity and you just shit the bed.
He basically friend zoned himself.
He friend zoned himself. So then he screws himself over by making that wish. And you only get one. You only get one wish. that works. Everything else doesn't work. Every person on earth only gets one wish with the one wish willow. And there's so much here to talk about, but I think we've gone on more than I thought we would. But this movie is going to be talked about for a while. It's a good movie. Do I think it's going to last with the hype until the Oscars? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think so, because it's still Oscars. Sinners had more going for it. Weapons had more going for it. If anything, Indy is going to get a Best Actress nomination everywhere. If not, it'll be the same thing as Toni Collette not getting the nomination for Hereditary. She should have gotten the nomination and won that Oscar. I'm not saying that Nikki should win this Oscar, because I haven't seen all the films yet. I cannot say that I think she should have won.
We have to wait and see what else comes out to help us prove that.
But she needs a nomination. This
exactly.
Is a
nomination it's like saying, what's a good example? I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, you know, a movie that people would think that this person, like this actor, should win the Oscar already, and it's not even like close to, you know, releases of like Digger or Wild Horse 9 or or movies like that, or even we're close to the Odyssey, but like at the same time, like I'll look up one movie just to give you my answer. It's like saying that Ryan Gosling will win the Oscar for Best Actor for Project Hail Mary. Not happening, because of the fact that we still have more films coming out. Then Ryan might get a nomination, possibly. We don't know yet. But if we, like, because Noah and I like doing early Oscar predictions every single year.
Especially me.
Me. But we've talked about this before. Digger might be the film that will get Tom Cruise his Oscar, but obviously it's a consideration Oscar because of how long he's been going on.
Exactly.
In the industry.
One thing about the Oscars that pissed me off, because when Glenn Close was up for The Wife, she should have won that Oscar. But they went, okay, let's go with the actual best performance. Because there's years where, like, let's just give it to The Veteran because it's their first. Glenn Close has never won an Oscar. Never won an Oscar. So they gave it to Olivia Colman. Great performance. But you had a three-way. You had Lady Gaga, Glenn Close, Olivia Colman. Olivia Colman only won the BAFTA. She only won the BAFTA.
Not even a Golden Globe.
Not even the Golden Globe. Gaga and Close tied at the Critics' Choice. But
this is that's kind of proving my point. Like, that's kind of God.
And Ryan Gosling, right? We have to say that this too. It's all about when it comes out during the year. Because if Project Hail Mary came out around November, December, oh my God, would we be thinking, oh, this is an Oscar player. I don't think they saw this as an Oscar player. I think they just saw this as, let's start off summer movie season. And
right,
they did.
But also think about this. I mean, even though Dune Part 2 was supposed to come out November of 23, it got pushed back to March of 24. We still weren't sure if it was still going to be like for, you know, Oscar play because of how early it was in the year. But look what happened.
Exactly. And I hate to tell you, if it came out earlier, it would have gotten more Oscar love, and Timmy probably would have won it. Because I think that is his best performance. Up to that point. Obviously, Wonka and Marty are my two favorites. But
of course.
Obviously. But still, it's too early to tell. Obsession, very good movie. Very good movie. Issues, yes. I wanted more. But I wanted more answers. I wanted more of the Crazy Nikki. I wanted answers about why this was happening. I wanted a rewrite of Bear, not like the studio wanted. Not like that. I wanted a little bit more attention to his character. of, okay, maybe make him a little more sympathetic and make him realize this is what I'm doing. And then if you go full on with it, when he realizes what he's doing, because I think he realizes a little bit, but I don't think he's smart enough as a character to really go, hey, I know what I'm doing, and I'm fine with it. I don't think he reached that level in the film. I think he knows he's doing something wrong, but he can't quite latch onto it until it's too late.
Exactly. Like the time that he finally latches on to the fact that the wish is literally pretty much just taking control of his life is when Sarah gets killed.
Yeah. And then he still and then instead of seeing what Nikki's actually going to do, I did not like the ending either. I did not like the ending. I think there should have been an ending where spoilers, they both end up living. Bear taking all those pills, I think, was a bad opportunity, because if we saw how obsessed he was starting to go nuts too. So if she becomes obsessed with him through the whole film, he becomes obsessed with her. Nikki is actually feeling everything for him anyways. All those feelings were inside of her already. She always liked Bear anyways. She was waiting on him to make the first move, because obviously she wasn't going to. She knew that he liked her from the very beginning. You saw that in the beginning with how disappointed she was when he didn't say crap. Yep. You should have taken your shot there. But again, good movie. We could do a whole freaking live stream just talking about Obsession. A whole live stream just going to every bit and piece with multiple guests.
I will say this, though, to kind of cap off the conversation about Obsession. We wouldn't have I honestly don't think we would have like a crazy enough movie had he confessed his feelings. But at the same time, he still should have done it. But
exactly,
he still should have done it. But let's be real, we wouldn't have a movie if he didn't make that wish.
Yeah, and that's my thing. Either do that scene or don't. Either do the scene of him confessing or attempting to confess. Because say that scene doesn't happen. Say there's a little bit of flirty, lovey-dovey stuff in the beginning. Fine, cool. But don't do that scene, because then there's already a shot. But Luke knows where I am coming from. I know where he is coming from. And we are the type of movie fans where we can see where we're going. But we don't have to, and we respect each other's opinion. I like the movie. He loves the movie. Everybody else loves this movie. I just like it. Maybe on rewatch, it'll hit a chord with me and it just works more. Or maybe I rewatch it and it goes down because I don't like the ending all that well. This unexplained thing with Curry Barker, hopefully his next film, that is original anyways. It doesn't go the route of let's do theories. I want some actual answers, because I'm hoping he's not the director where it's unanswered and it's just theories. And if you're going to do something like that, do like a Backrooms, where there's multiple things that are not explained because of how weird that damn thing is. But anyways, Luke, thank you so much for coming on, my guy.
Of course, man.
And we will see you next month, because we will be back to talk about what we watched in the month of July. We will be watching a lot. I'll be watching a lot on the Criterion channel, a lot of Christmas in July, and some new releases. Luke will be watching some new releases. He will even be watching one film for Christmas in July, part of the 52-week movie challenge, which we will not spoil here. But check out that. Check out Luke's channel. He has a lot of live streams very, very soon. He has a Horror Hounds, which check out that new episode, because I'm proud of that freaking intro. Hey! Which, hey, shit, I'll do I still have it? Yeah, I do, so I'm just going to play it, shit on it.
All right.
Enjoy the live stream, everybody. Check out Movie Fanatics, check out Horror Hounds, and Watch Along. And you can check out those all on Luke Ponto's channel. Check out Heartful of Hallmark podcast. My pride and joy. Love my co-host to death. She's the best. When I can't do it, she does it, and she does it 10 times better than I could by myself. And for myself, check me out here. I'll be doing shorts, reviews, Blu-ray updates, and multiple other things. Until next time, everybody, like and subscribe for more, and I'll see all of you guys next time.
You know not when the sky is